Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Bootleg Choice of Robots. Not Choice of Robots. Bootleg Detroit Become Human. Choice of Robots by Kevin Gold. He has a PhD. Sebastian, say hi.
Are we recording right now?
Yes, we are.
Oh, sorry. I was just browsing my massive Waluigi hentai collection.
You're welcome for that description. So, a little bit about Choice of Robots. It's on Steam. It's amazing. It's Bootleg Detroit Become Human. Choices affect everything. Here's your stats. These
Stats are by Kevin Gold, PhD.
Yup, these are important. Here's the menu. We can view the credits, play more games, email, make text bigger or smaller, change background color. Do you want to change the background color?
I don't care.
Alright, let's do this. Who are you, Sebastian? You can read this. The crowd can read this. I could read this. Who are you? Where do you want to be?
Where are you?
Where are you? God damn it. Okay, where are you? Do you want to be in a court, in a war-torn battlefield, on the cliff of Ireland, or a utopian beach?
Okay, so...
Where are you? In the court of Egyptian god Anubis, answering for my sins, on a war-torn battlefield with a robotic Statue of Liberty.
That sounds cool.
On the cliff of Ireland, watching the sunset with a robot companion. Or on a utopian beach ruled by godlike cloud of robots.
I'm thinking the island one. Let's get some robo-erotica.
That's an option in this game. That is an option.
Oh boy, can't wait.
So you chose Ireland. You can read that. I kind of want to read it because narrating voice. Sitting on a seaside cliff in Ireland, watching the sunset, is the robot companion you always wanted. Is it a he, she, he and I, or she and I?
So, Professor Oak here, gonna figure out the gender.
Yep.
Who's gonna do the super analysis? Maybe we should call Inspector Gadget.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pick one, my friend.
I don't know. Let's go bottom, very bottom.
She and I traveled the world exploring. Yes, you two are best of friends. +2 empathy, +1 autonomy. This is important. She is clothed in loose-fitting red tunic. Ooh! She gives you a puckerish, friendly look. You sit down behind her, beside her, watching the sunset. And then more text. You can read that, right?
No, read it. Read it.
I hope I didn't keep you waiting, you say. Oh my god, I have to... You know, I'm not...
You can do some voices.
I can't do a high voice. Or else I'm loud. Okay,
Okay, let me take this. I'll do this voice.
Okay.
Actually, I'm still waiting.
She says with a slight smile.
For you to build me.
I can do that, you say. She looks sad for a moment.
Yes, but it will take a lot out of you.
She puts her hand on yours.
I promise you that if you give your humanity to me, then I will give it back one day.
I don't understand, you say.
Just remember that no great thing happens without sacrifice.
She says.
And I'm sorry.
Some things are in our control, and others are not.
Over.
Chapter 1.
Guy like ancient Roman or something?
Probably, it sounds like one. Or Greek. Chapter 1. Assembly. You awake with your head on your desktop keyboard. Your 3D drifting program is still open. The schematics zoomed into the recess where your smartphone will snap into its back to act as its brain. You recall fiddling with the part endlessly at night until finally your vision became to fade. There was a roaring in your ears and you realized you've been working far, far too long. You might have passed out. It's the fall of 2019. You're a 24-year-old graduate student in the PhD program in computer science at Stanford. You are a... Am I a guy or a girl?
Good. I just remembered, like, in Mighty Number 9.
Right, Mighty Number 9.
They started with, the year is the current year. It's like, Jesus Christ.
That's
couldn't have possibly done a lazier intro.
It wasn't a good game, Mighty Number 9. It was disappointing, too. They had, like, such a good thing, but they somehow ruined it.
Mighty Number 9 could have been great, but it isn't.
Okay, am I a guy or a girl, Sebastian?
Anyways,
are we a guy or a girl?
I don't care. You take this decision.
Okay, you know what? Let's be a guy and let's type our name. What's our name?
Let's we gotta think of a great name.
What?
It's a toughie.
What? Our name is Puppy?
Oh.
What's
our name should be Heinz Doofenshmirtz.
How do you spell it?
Okay, so first name Heinz, H-E-I-N-Z.
And S.
And Z.
Not S, Z?
Yeah, that's how I spell it.
Okay, next, and Heinz. Am I right? Yes, and your last name is Doofenshmirtz. Tell me, how do you spell Doofenshmirtz?
E-O-O-F.
Yep.
I-N.
What?
No, Doof, E-N.
E-N.
S-H.
S-H.
M-I.
M-I.
R-T.
R-T.
Z, I think. That's definitely Z.
Doofenshmirtz, is this correct?
Yes. Doofenshmirtz.
Doofenshmirtz, sure. Doofenshmirtz Evil Incorporated. And as you can see, this is our stats. And we are
24-year-old Heinz Doofenshmirtz.
You look around.
Broke.
You look around your apartment. What does it look like? You can speak this one. You can say the choices.
BattleBots trophy is perched on a widescreen TV equipped with the latest video game consoles. Oh, you know we gotta go with that one. We're epic gamers.
Okay, keep reading.
Right. Neatly labeled plastic shelving units sit on a 3D printer-equipped robot workbench. Busts of famous philosophers sit next to my own attempts to sculpt them. My shelves display all the strange little robotic creatures I've made over the years.
So, we're going with the battle.
We gotta go full gamer.
Gamer it is. +2 military.
Yes, you're a competitive person by nature, and you grew interested in artificial intelligence by coding AI for games. When your high school fielded a team for a local BattleBots competition sponsored by the nearby defense contractor, you eagerly took up the challenge and won with an aggressive bot that would ram the enemy while it was still figuring out what it was. You continued to compete at the college level. ++ military.
Hell yeah.
It strikes you for a moment that this kind of thinking about how your life affects your robots is second nature to you, though others might find it peculiar. You've always been fascinated by every little detail of your life, from the content of your dreams to the decor of your room. It changes the inputs to the robots you create, boosts their empathy or autonomy or grace, or appeal to the military. Surely there are other things going on around you as a result of your decisions, but they don't immediately strike you in the same way. Today, your robot is foremost on your mind because you're about to build its body. You pick up your laptop and head for the Stanford machine shop.
This is important because your empathy, autonomy, grace, or military will affect choices later on. Things also exist like your fame and wealth and your romance.
I'm glad that we picked Ireland because that's kind of close to... I think that's as close as we were going to get to Germany.
Ah, yes, Perry the Platypus. Okay. It's a beautiful...
Perry the Platypus, your timing is impeccable. And by that, of course, I mean completely impeccable.
Fool. It's a beautiful spring day in Palo Alto, California. In your apartment...
You said we were in Ireland. Liar. No wonder there's budget.
We're going to get to Ireland very shortly, and your apartment is only a short walk away from the machine shop. And the streets of Palo Alto are not designed for walking. You find yourself climbing around palm trees and balancing on narrow curbs as you do every day. You hear a low roar overhead. Glancing up, you see it's a flying car, a Nimbus. I don't see any flying cars in 2019.
This is Back to the Future. What year was this game developed?
Like 2013.
They should have known better. Like, I can excuse Back to the Future, but this is... This is the scene where humanity was going.
A little over $300,000 can you buy a car with wings that fold out. So it becomes a small sport plane. The red Nimbus looks sleek and sporty. It's sort of a car its owner takes religiously to the car wash. Though...
it's $300,000. I thought it was just $3,000. No, that's slapping another 100 on there.
It's a cost of a house.
Just right smack in the middle.
The FAA still requires them to take off and land from airports. Only here in the wealthy Silicon Valley you see them with any frequency. The first time you saw one, you couldn't quite believe the future had arrived so quickly. But the second time you saw one, you thought? What did we think? Will you help the world?
Heinz Doofenshmirtz wouldn't need to buy one. He could just build it. He could just build a car-inator.
Yes.
He wouldn't ever help the world. So, I guess why aren't those flying cars driving themselves? Doing the Doofenshmirtz route.
The Doofenshmirtz.
We're basing all of our decisions based on what Doof would do.
So is it, why aren't those flying cars driving themselves?
Yeah.
Amazing.
That's a question I could see Doof asking.
Empathy +1. Occasionally, you see a self-driving car on the roads of Palo Alto, but for some reason they still haven't caught on as quite as much one would expect, despite... No, we have to speak this in a Doofenshmirtz voice. Sebastian, your call.
I cannot do a Doofenshmirtz voice for any period of time. I am absolutely not doing Doof voice.
Despite having been around at least as long as the flying cars, you decided it's people who don't trust self-driving cars enough. It's important to make your robot seem trustworthy. Intelligence alone doesn't instill trust. You can read this. I don't want to read. My throat hurts.
Alright. The Stanford University fabrication shop smells like oil and burnt plastic. The room is dominated by large metal hand-cranked milling machines in lathes, dinosaurs of the 20th century. While most used machines are the smaller 3D printers and the computer-controlled water jet cutters that take a quarter of the space, the lights have the sterile fluorescence of an operating room, with only a single tiny window near the ceiling to inform you that it is day. A National Public Radio podcast on your laptop. You haven't seen your advisor much since he joined the lab, so you choose the episode in which he's the interviewee. My guest today is Dr. Harvey Ziegler, says a woman with a soothing voice. Dr. Ziegler, thank you for talking with us today.
You wouldn't like Dr. Ziegler. You won't like him. Let's keep reading.
Well, you gotta do the voice for the doc.
Oh, right, okay. Well... A scientist does have some responsibility to inform the unwashed masses, Terry.
Dick. You let the podcast run as you walk over to the 3D printers. What material have you decided to use for your robot?
What material do we use, Sebastian?
Got plastic, metal, and wood. Why would you build a robot out of wood? That's like the least sci-fi thing I could possibly imagine.
But like,
that's how I would imagine like Middle Ages people would build robots.
I know, but
out of like wood and like
eye.
Just like whatever they could find.
I know, but it looks better.
Let's go with like metal.
What would Doofenshmirtz do?
He would build it out of metal. He would put like 5 self-destruct buttons on it.
It is most resistant to damage.
You ever seen Doof using wood in an inator? No.
Ah, yes, Perry the Platypus. Welcome to my wood data. That just sounds stupid. Okay, I'll do Dr. Ziegler, and you can narrate.
Plus military. You walk over to the computer-controlled water jet cutter, where a helpful pictogram shows the jet of abrasive-filled water slicing a hand in two. Dr. Ziegler, in your new book, you talk about the singularity. Could you describe for our listeners what this is?
Terry, the singularity is the coming time where artificial intelligence will have figured out how to make themselves and us smarter. Once that happens, the process will build itself until the robots are smart enough to figure out how we can live forever.
That possible? The interviewer asks. Living forever?
Of course. I said, of course.
I said Professor Ziegler says.
It cut out for a second. What does it matter whether our operating systems are made out of meat or silicon?
You're predicting we'll become robots.
Not exactly.
Ziegler says.
But I do think the line between humans and robots will blur.
Hardly listening to the podcast because you're about to make your first robot part. What does the head of your robot look like?
Do you want a human face, a simple box with eyes? That would look cute. Just a simple box with eyes.
I feel like now's an important time to make the difference between robots and androids.
Yep.
Like, an android is like a machine that's supposed to look human. A robot is something that is like a machine that's not supposed to look human.
Yep.
You know?
I know, but like a simple box with eyes, isn't that just gonna be cute? Just a tiny and it can be a human face, a simple box with eyes. It would be felt covered and big-eyed like a puppet.
What would Doof do? He made Norm, right?
He did make Norm.
Norm is kind of doofy looking. Like, he doesn't look like any of the citizens. He's kind of like you can tell he's a human or humanoid, but he's got that unmistakable robotic feel. So I'm thinking felt covered and big-eyed.
Felt covered and big-eyed like a puppet. All right. Boom. Plus 2 empathy minus military. Do you want to cut this again? Because I'm talking as Dr. Zelger.
What?
Do you want to narrate again? Because Dr. Zelger is still in this scene.
The water jet cutter is only creating the frame now, so it actually looks a little disturbing, much like a puppet skull. When the frame is done, you decide to glue down the cloth immediately and attach the big plastic eyes that will make your robot look... It's like blurry and crap.
Oh.
Friendly? Is that what it says?
Yep.
Friendly and innocent?
Then you have to say, much better.
Much better. Plus empathy, I guess? Minus military?
Plus 2 empathy minus military.
Dr. Ziegler, what makes you think the singularity will happen now?
Well, for one thing, I'm around. But seriously, my lab is taking a unique approach because we're saying, why not teach a robot like a child? We're going to equip the robot with its best sensors money can buy and teach it English. Then it could rapidly teach itself using the internet.
That's annoying. Your advisor thought that a robot child was a stupid idea until you told him Turing proposed back in 1950 minus the internet part. But he isn't giving credit to either of you. You keep working regardless. How will your robot get around?
What do you think?
Okay, so walk upright on 2 legs, crawl on 8 legs, disgusting. Roll on wheels, fly like a helicopter. That would be hilarious. It will roll on tank treads. It will walk upright, but also have delicate wings it can use for balance. What would Doof do?
That's what we're thinking throughout this whole thing. What would Doof do?
I'm thinking if Doofenshmirtz was to make a mobile innator, he would be like super extra about it. So I'm thinking tank treads.
Tank treads.
Yeah.
Okay, let's imagine our robot. Okay. He has a puppet-like head.
He's got like a big doofy face, but it's got like gigantic treads that it rolls around on.
Alright.
It just blasts heavy metal music.
Tank tread. +2
Right.
military. Minus a grace. Okay, let's look at our
Right.
stats. Look at our grace. Non-existent.
Just like doof. Tank treads will help your robot avoid getting stuck in mud. ++ military. They'll probably also later fuel your robot's obsession with the movie Short Circuit about a tank-treaded robot who dearly wants to be considered alive.
Yup.
What the hell? Plus empathy. However, they are not known for their ability to turn on a dime, minus grace. We're getting like negative grace points.
That's
exactly how I imagined Doof to be. Use the basic hand crank to milling machines to drill holes in the head for screws, since water jet cutters aren't the best for threaded holes. And who is going to raise this robotic child? The interviewer asked.
Who does all the grunt work in the research laboratory?
Professor Ziegler says.
The graduate students, of course.
Yourself wanting to reply to the podcast.
It's not grunt work. Education is crucial to robot development. Or, we also do all the real science. And perhaps you can learn something from doing a little grunt work yourself, Professor Ziegler.
Hey. So this is no sass versus mild sass versus extreme sass.
Yup.
I'm thinking option number 3, because I can really clearly imagine Doof saying that.
Thank you, Doof. Oh my god, this is a lot of dialogue. Alright.
Boy.
I doubt it, but I would join you if I had the time.
Professor Ziegler, who appears to have entered the machine shop behind you when you weren't looking.
Oh dear god. Perhaps it surprises you, but I do miss building robots myself instead of chasing after funding.
Professor Ziegler is a heavy-set man wearing a Hawaiian shirt and aviator sunglasses.
Hell yeah.
Stalks over to your computer. We'll be back in a moment.
Well, okay.
Continues the interviewer. We're talking with Professor
Professor
Ziegler podcast by hitting your laptop's spacebar. You flinch at this intrusion. He then pulls a cigar from his pocket and lights it. The smell of smoke mingles with the oily smell of the machine shop.
I'm writing a grant for the DARPA, and I need to see what you're making back there. We ultimately get funded by the Department of Defense, so we have to make sure they're happy with our product.
Cast a critical eye on the work you've done so far.
Metal's a good choice.
What it says.
They want things to appear durable in the field.
Ziegler turns to examining your robot's head, which is currently sitting on the table next to the water jet cutter.
You've got to be kidding me.
It says.
I am not selling a Muppet to the DARPA.
Look at the DARPA, man.
A Muppet. It's not for them.
You say?
It's for the kids. It's supposed to be a pleasant presence around the house. Why are you so fixated on DARPA? Can we get funding from the National Science Foundation? NSF grants are a killing field.
Grouses? What the hell is that?
Grouses. Mm-hmm.
I've never heard that before.
I've never heard that before either. But then again, Kevin Gold does have a PhD. The amount of money are tiny compared to defense research, and you have to be the best of the best to get any funding at all.
Pardon. You privately wonder if that's just Professor Ziegler's perception. You decide to try and apply an NSF grant, and if you can find the time.
And what are you going to do for its arms and hands?
Professor Ziegler says.
Okay, here are the options. A Tyrannosaurus Rex. T-Rex arms. It will have a gun.
My eye is immediately drawn to the Mega Man option.
Me too. Mechanical grippers, but built for strength instead of dexterity. A Swiss Army knife with...
Also very interested in Inspector Gadget.
Inspector Gadget.
God, freaking 2 references in this one text block.
This is awesome. I want to build a soft hand with a good sense of touch. I was thinking, why just 2 arms? lots of arms springing out of its back like Inspector Gadget.
What I want to do is Inspector Gadget, but I have to ask the question: would Doof pick Inspector Gadget?
That's a great question. What would Doof do? I mean, come on.
And
But, like, Inspector
Doof
Gadget.
Schmitz doesn't really seem like the kind of guy who would watch cartoons. I mean, in Jerusalem, it's not like he had enough money for a TV.
They only loved his brother.
I mean, actually, I think he did watch TV. He was shown watching TV at one point, but like I don't know if it would have been Inspector Gadget that he would have been watching. So I think what Doof would go for, obviously is going to be extra. I'm thinking T-Rex arms.
My thoughts exactly. Okay.
Ziegler gives you a flat look. You make little fingers and jut out your teeth.
Rar. I cannot tell whether or not you're kidding.
Says, you demonstrate your ability to pick up a pen with your two hooked fingers. Convinced this will look adorable. This is just going to be an amalgam of horrible parts.
It looks awesome.
Plus empathy. The memory and power you would have reserved for motor control can be used instead to speed its cognition. Plus grace.
Hell yeah.
Sadly, it is not actually going to make your robot very intimidating. Minus military.
Aw, fine.
This says, waving away further explanation.
Carry on then.
Turns to leave.
I've got to go take a call from the New York Times reporter. Funny how journalists all copy from each other's stories, but each garble the message in a unique way.
Makes it to the door, then turns and says,
Oh, one more thing. Do you think your robot can be ready tomorrow? Someone from the Air Force will be in town, and I told her your robot might be ready to show off by then.
feel your phone vibrating in your pocket. Bad timing. You resist the urge to check it while talking to your advisor, but it's probably someone with a better offer for what to do tonight.
Options. No, there's no way the robot will be done. The robot will be done, but demo's out of the question. And of course. What would Doof say? Of course.
First of all, I have a question.
Yes.
What's Ziegler doing here? I didn't get the part of the story where I thought he was like, did he just show up? I thought he was like recording a podcast.
Oh, okay, yeah. So he was our main character, Doofenshmirtz, was listening to a podcast of Ziegler, and then Ziegler came in. Cause Ziegler is.
Do Ziegler and Doof have an association then?
Yes, they do.
Are they working together?
They are working together. As Doofenshmirtz is Ziegler's student in university.
Oh, okay. All right. So I'm thinking done but demo is out. Professor Ziegler grudgingly nods.
I can see the logic of that. Maybe we'll just send her a demo video. Then it only has to work once.
Professor Ziegler turns and walks out of the machine shop. You find yourself unclenching your hands. Who's calling you while Professor Ziegler is talking to you?
Before we continue, let's show our stats. We are year 2000, 24-year-old.
Lost humanity?
We lost humanity.
Where?
I don't know. We are a terrible human.
No money.
No, wow. Romance, no. Our robot has 1 autonomy, 3 military, 8 empathy, and 2 grace. Buggy, and empathy is in beta.
Amazing.
Relationships with Ziegler, whatever, 50%. So who's calling us? I want to, like...
I like the middle guy, but I could never pronounce his name.
Edgy.
So I'm less than inclined to choose that option.
Edgy.
I would if I could pronounce that in any
No, I got you.
capacity.
Edgy Ao Meme.
I'm not pronouncing that. No way in hell.
but his name is edgy. So do you want to go Ellie Lau or Josh Anderson?
Who would Doof be friends with? A user experience designer, or a founder of a startup company?
I mean, he has to get his material somewhere.
Oh.
Or we can have someone designing his machines.
Oh, but Doof does all his designs himself, doesn't he?
Correct.
Like, he's ironing them out daily. There's no way he's paying someone to do that. He's got to be doing that himself.
So you want to go with Josh Anderson?
I don't know. Maybe he's paying Norm to do it. But yeah, I'm thinking Josh.
Paying Norm. Norm? Okay, I can narrate this. You can be Josh. Josh comes in the next one, but okay. From the missed call, your phone is displaying Josh's profile photo. It's a picture of Josh and Ellie from the freshman welcome week dance 7 years ago. Ellie is wearing a red Chinese dress with golden trim, her long, straight black hair falling down to the epaulets, whatever. The flash is too bright in the picture, making Ellie's pale skin look washed out. Josh is wearing his usual gray hoodie. Not having bothered to dress up for the dance, his arm is around Ellie. What is the story behind that picture?
Alright.
I was in love with Josh's friend.
So first of all, Doofenshmirtz is a married man, so the loved ones are immediately out.
Loved ones are out, so let's go down. I agreed to be Josh's wing person at a dance. That's where he met Ellie. Or I was testing.
That's something that Doof could do.
Or I was testing a music recognition algorithm when those two started bothering me.
I'm thinking he was wingmanning Josh. Like, Doof would wingman Perry the Platypus.
He would.
You know?
That'd be awesome.
He would. And Perry would wingman him.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, I'm just telling you.
So, you know.
Give me an episode. Yes, you and Josh did everything together. You made a great team. When Ellie started talking to you, you thought at first, from her sense of style, that she was Josh's type. He liked his women to be snappy dressers, even though he always dressed down and you introduced them. It turned out they had no chemistry, but you enjoyed each other's company. And the three of you became friends throughout college. You don't see them that often now, but they're still your friends. You notice Josh also left you a text. Josh wants to meet dinner at a burger joint in East Palo Alto. He says he wants to run some project ideas by you. See if you're interested in working with the company on any of them. It occurs to you that you were working with Josh, and you might be able to get funding for your education from him instead of Professor Zilger's military grants. You text back. What do you say? Do you leave him on red?
I'm thinking we attend.
Hell yeah, it's a burger joint. Who wouldn't? Sounds great. See you then. Then you can be Josh.
Great.
Great.
Josh texts back. See you then.
You spend the rest of your day drilling holes, polishing surfaces, cutting parts, and screwing things together. When you're done, your robot body stands before you. A mental caterpillar track robot with a puppet head and T-Rex arms. The whole thing is about 3 feet tall. Now it needs a name. What will be your robot? I want to name it.
Wow. Okay. So
I want to name it Pickle.
Karate, Miku, Rex, Kill All, Ariel, Caliban, Famulus, and Guardulus.
I want to name it Pickle.
Let's call it Throckmorton.
Wait. Okay. What?
Let's call it Throckmorton.
Okay. How do you spell that?
Right. THR.
Yep.
O. CK.
CK.
MOR.
MOR.
TON.
TON.
Yes.
Throckmorton.
Throckmorton.
Now that Throckmorton has a body, it might be time to treat Throckmorton more like a person. What pronouns will you prefer to Throckmorton? What?
Re-rur and rim? I'm not saying that. I don't know.
It. Is it a man or a woman?
Throckmorton's got the big dick energy. Let's do masculine.
Encouraging the people to think of Throckmorton as human-like as opposed to object-like is supposed to help him get along with people, plus empathy. You look on Throckmorton's 3-foot-tall caterpillar track-like body with satisfaction, and now all he needs are motors and a mind. The motors can wait for tomorrow. You spent years in graduate school learning the code that would form this robot's mind. You can hardly wait to try it out. Take out your smartphone, check the time, it's almost evening, you hurry home to prepare dinner. Your dinner with Josh. I thought we were going to a burger joint.
Yeah.
By the way, how do you feel about your ambitious, robot-loving entrepreneur friend? I think Doofus...
Nice to have a sycophant who recognizes my genius. That's exactly what Doof would say.
Yep. I'm not sure he put it that way, but as a non-technical person who has an obsession with robots, he does tend to give you a pass when you say shit like that. Ooh.
Yikes.
Ooh. Ozzy's is a burger place in East Palo Alto. Like East Palo Alto in general, is affordable and unpretentious place filled with frugal software engineers who can afford much more but don't want it. Rock-themed wallpaper has been scrawled on by patrons long ago, and an old arcade version of Guitar Hero is sitting unloved in a corner. Josh Anderson is hunched over in a swanky brick of Alienware gaming laptop. He's wearing a gray hoodie, clearly inspired by Mark Zuckerberg.
Mark Zuckerberg! Oh my god.
So many references. Or at least his character in The Social Network, which Josh has watched too many times. And a giant orange Beats by Dre headphones. His head is moving to the beat whatever 70s hair metal he's listening to. But he appears intensely lost in thought when he's ever on his laptop. When you approach, he slips down his headphones and some blare of some kind of female cover of Led Zeppelin until he closes his laptop. This is the business dinner you're expensing? You ask. Josh sniffs.
But kind of classic, not irresponsible. Besides, I like their burgers.
A waiter comes by with a menu. Apparently the burgers are all rock themed. You'll have...
Bohemian Rhapsody?
I want that. Can I have that? Can we?
A maple bacon burger? That sounds so delicious. I want that. I want a Bohemian Rhapsody right now. Give it to me. At 9:18 at night. Give me the Bohemian Rhapsody. Delicious. Just pop on over to Five Guys Burgers and Fries. Hey, can I get a Bohemian Rhapsody? With maybe a side of God.
It sounds amazing, I'm just saying.
Yeah, can I get a Freddie Mercury with a 2-liter of Coke?
Alright, your cue.
Choose that one?
Your cue.
Oh man, that sounds pretentious.
Josh says, it sounds delicious. You insist it would be delicious.
Listen to Ira Glass on the drive here, didn't you?
Josh accuses. What do you have against public radio?
Ours are for listening to music.
Josh says, as if stating the obvious. You decide to cut to the chase. I was wondering if you would pay my tuition for a few years as I agreed to work for you part-time and then full-time after graduation. Josh looks a little skeptical.
How much would that cost exactly?
You tell him, and he looks a little relieved.
Okay, as business R&D goes, it's actually not too bad. And academics have a cheap labor market.
That stings you a little, because you really haven't thought of yourself as labor. But Professor Zalger seems to think I
think of myself as labor because I think of myself as an evil genius.
Haha. Maybe Josh understands Professor Zalger's point of view better than you.
Or take over the tri-state area.
Yeah, your turn.
Oh, I've got a few projects going that you could consult on.
He digs into a laptop bag with his feet and produces a tablet computer
With his feet? Is that what you said?
with his feet.
Yeah. That's what it said. Just
Argentina.
tell me which one you want to work on.
Does that mean yes? Yeah, yesk? Does that mean yesk? You ask, hopefully.
If you find something you like, sure.
Josh says.
A good candidate, we just need to find a good project fit.
Josh does some swinging and tapping and hands the tablet to you. The screen shows us a sketch of a robot that has Inspector Gadget-like arms coming out of the back, with one holding a different surgical instrument, scalpels, capulars, and needle with a thread. Option 1, surgery bot.
Knew we should have done the Inspector Gadget arms.
We should have. I was thinking of graduate class to control theory in my first college. Let's do it. What if we focused on providing robots with good patient skills? Like a nurse. I think my robot tends too unpredictable for the operating room. Which one?
I mean, I feel like Doof has a lot of chaotic energy, so maybe too unpredictable.
Too unpredictable. Okay, Josh frowns. Yours.
Unpredictable isn't really a selling point for most products.
He says, "You're disappointed because you usually like making robots that explore the world and surprise you, plus autonomy."
If you want to join this venture,
Josh continues.
next option might be your best bet.
Josh does a swipe on his tablet and a new image displays a little knit owl with carton eyes and tiny wings.
Option 2, the toy market. Now, the key to succeeding on the toy market is being able to make a ridiculously cheap product. It has to be cute, not smart.
I've done some Furby hacking. Great. I've made intelligent stuffed animal before. Let's do it. Let's see what else you got. I don't think Doof would be making toys.
Yeah. Plus, he's done, like, advanced AI on Norm, so, like, I assume he's going to be wanting to work on something a little more
Let's see what else you got.
on the intelligence.
Obviously. Your line?
Shit. Alright. Sure.
Josh says.
Option 3.
The tablet now displays a photo of a sleek quadcopter drone.
Prison drones.
Josh says.
There's now sometimes using illegal subdermal transmitters to communicate with each other. It's making it easier for them to coordinate prison breaks and riots. These drones would be equipped with jammers to stop the prisoners' signals.
Josh can't help but crack a grin.
Also, it looks kind of sweet, doesn't it?
That sounds like a worthy goal. I feel bad for the prisoners. Haven't you thought marketing to the military?
I would probably not want anything to do with the military, considering it's an evil genius. Maybe, yeah, sounds like a worthy goal.
Let's do it. Great,
Toys.
Josh said. +3 military? Oh my god. Okay, you can say great. Do it.
Great.
Josh says. +++ military. Do you want to see Throckmorton tomorrow, you ask?
That's alright.
Josh says.
Unless you really want to.
You spend the meal catching up with talk of the latest games and bands, two of Josh's favorite subjects, then call it a night. You head home, your mind buzzing with excitement. You can't wait to finish your robot tomorrow. John's drone robots will be nothing compared to Throckmorton.
Whatever happened to the robot at the beginning of the story?
That was our robot. That's Throckmorton. And the robot at the beginning, you'll see at the end. Chapter 2, we will end here. Because, we finished a chapter. This was a very successful. Thanks for watching. Bootleg Detroit. Thanks.
Hey, make sure you curse that platypus.